right, with Delhi elections just around the corner, Delhi Chief Minister Atishi is filing her nomination papers. These are the live visuals that we're getting for you. Remember, she is seeking the re-election from the Kalkaji constituency. Tejashi Purandare, my colleague, joins me live. Tejashi, good morning once again. Looking at these live visuals, she's filing her nomination. Right ahead of that also, while you of course speak to us about what's happening, you had the opportunity to speak to her earlier and she was very confident of that win.
Well, absolutely. It seems like yesterday, as we spoke to her, she was confident about her win, and that is how the elections are fought. Every candidate is confident about their own win, and that's what the BJP candidate says. That's what the Congress candidate says. But ultimately, the fortune will be decided on 8th of February when the results will be out. Let us talk about what's happening right now. So Atishi has arrived a few minutes back to file a nomination. Well, she was supposed to file a nomination yesterday, but that could not happen as there was a delay in the nomination rally. She had to go to the Election Commission office. But as of now, she has arrived over here talking about this particular constituency, Kalkaji. So yes, it is said to be the stronghold of Aam Aadmi Party since the year 2015. However, Atishi was not contesting from this particular constituency in 2015. It was the year 2020 when she was nominated from this particular constituency. She won, and then she contested and then now also she is contesting from this particular constituency. Talking about her profile also, she started as MLA, then she started as an MLA, then she was also the education minister. She also had some very crucial and important portfolios like PWD, and since the time when Arvind Kejriwal was in Tihar jail, she was the one who was handling over all the charges, and then she was given the charge of the chief minister as well. And since then we have been seeing, after Arvind Kejriwal, I beg your pardon, came out of Tihar jail, she was in fact the chief minister of the national capital, and since then she is the face of chief minister. But yes, the important question will remain that will she be the chief minister after in case if Aam Aadmi Party wins, what happens next? Because Aam Aadmi Party's national convener Arvind Kejriwal says, and he has said multiple times that he is the face of Aam Aadmi Party and that elections are fought on his face. He is making the promise that he will be the chief minister of the national capital, and in an interview also to a media organization, he specifically mentioned that she is the temporary chief minister, and that the elections, if Aam Aadmi Party wins elections, then Arvind Kejriwal will again become the chief minister. So this will be interesting to see that what happens next. As of now, she is the current sitting chief minister of the national capital, and certainly this was certainly a very tactical move also, because we were seeing that there was a fight escalating between LG and the Delhi chief minister, then Delhi chief minister Arvind Kejriwal, on the files not being filed. There was a deadlock, and that's why perhaps that particular decision was taken. Also, do not forget that she is the women face, so that could also that decision was also taken to show that Aam Aadmi Party is a party who in fact supports the women empowerment. That message was also being sent. So yes, now in the coming time we'll also have to see that what transpires next as far as the face of chief minister is concerned, because Aam Aadmi Party is asking the question to the BJP that they have announced their candidate, they have their chief minister, but what about BJP? Who is the face of the BJP's chief minister? BJP ka dulha kaun? These kind of questions are being asked, but BJP says that in every election no chief minister is being announced in either of the states where BJP fights election. It is just that they fight the election on their symbol, that is Kamal. But that is very true that BJP actually does not have a face as far as the elections in the national capital are concerned, and that is what should worry the party as well. But anti-incumbency could also affect Aam Aadmi Party, because this will be the third time if Aam Aadmi Party comes to power. But as far as we have been going on the ground, checking the poll pulse of the voters, it seems like rather than the chief minister pace, rather than the party, the local issues, the very basic civic issues like development of parks, sanitation, open drainage, construction, drinking water, these are the main concerns of the national capital, say it be in the posh area or say it be in the slum area. Back to you.
See, you made very interesting points, Tejashi, and taking a cue from what you also said about that temporary chief minister's statement that came in, then we saw politics play out over the same. In fact, even the lieutenant governor had really expressed how he had viewed that. But the other aspect, like you pointed out, this has been quite interesting politically speaking, not just for how it's panned out for Atishi, but all that's happened for the Aam Aadmi Party. And while you speak about the fact that ultimately it is the citizens who will make that decision. You pointed out right now there are several issues as well that Delhiites are facing. All right, Tejashree, I would love to continue that conversation with you, but stay with me. I'm given to understand Nikhil is also quickly joining us. Nikhil, Tejashree, of course, was putting that into perspective for us while Atishi has filed her nomination. In your perspective, how is this three-way battle panning out?
Well, this is clearly a three-way battle. On one side, Atishi is going to file a nomination today as we speak. On another side, BJP's Ramesh Bidhuri, he is going to contest the election. He's from the Bharatiya Janata Party and he has been the member of parliament twice from the South Delhi constituency, which also falls in this assembly seat. So that is another place where the tough competition is currently being received to Atishi. On the third front, Alka Lamba from the Congress Party, who has also been the member of Aam Aadmi Party. She has been the MLA as well in the Sheila Dikshit regime. So she's the one who is contesting from the Congress Party. So clearly, this is one of the high-profile seats, as we have already mentioned, after New Delhi, where Arvind Kejriwal is going to contest. So Kalkaji becomes even more important. We have spoken to some of the voters as well, some of the local people as well, who are part of this particular constituency. While there is a section of people who clearly feel that Atishi has done a couple of developmental work in this particular constituency, but there are another set of the people who equally feel that this time she should not return to power. So both of these segments are clearly right here present in the constituency today. All of the three candidates, be Ramesh Bidhuri, Alka Lamba or Atishi, all of them are going to file their nomination today. And the Aam Aadmi Party, particularly the national convener of the Aam Aadmi Party, Arvind Kejriwal, he has also gone on to say, including Atishi, that Ramesh Bidhuri is the CM candidate from the Bharatiya Janata Party. But this is something which is not very much official. Many of the experts and analysts believe that this was the opportunity to distract everyone from this entire game. But the clarification also came out from Ramesh Bidhuri that this is only the cheap thrills which is correctly being used by the leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party, and there is no substitute in the entire situation. So this is a three-way contest. We need to see as to what exactly the voters are thinking, because it is still close to over 20 days before the elections are going to take place in the capital city. But as we speak, Atishi currently is filing her nomination paper. Yesterday as well, she held a huge rally for the nomination paper, but she could not do so because of some of her engagement with the Election Commission as well, along with Arvind Kejriwal. So today she has come here, and in a short while from now, Nivedna,
all right, Nikhil, stay with me. Tejashree, stay with me. I'm going to come back to you quickly. Sanjay Singh is addressing the media at the moment. Let's quickly listen into what the leader has to say.
तो इसलिए अपने आप को खुद उन्होंने अपनी स्पीच से कल झूठा साबित किया। और दूसरी बात यह है कि बड़ी अजीब बात है कि जवाब राहुल गांधी को अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने दिया, लेकिन अरविंद केजरीवाल को गाली गलौज करने के लिए अमित मालवीय आ गया, भारतीय जनता पार्टी आ गई। तो इससे दिल्ली के अंदर मिला जुला खेल जो कांग्रेस बीजेपी का है वो लोगों को समझ में आ रहा है, कैसे मिलके खेल रहे हैं लोग।
All right. Okay. So we just heard what Sanjay Singh had to say, but let me go to Tejashree, who continues to stay with us. Tejashree, you know, one aspect that you pointed out, which I was going to come to you a little earlier as well. You know, there's nobody better than reporters like you and Nikhil to really talk about what has panned out in Delhi for the past couple of years. Yes, fair enough. All the candidates seem very confident of winning. They believe that, perhaps the work has been done. But just look at the way Delhi has been in the past couple of years, because you pointed out the pressing issues that citizens are facing. Do you believe the report card, as per what the citizens' perspective is very different from how the leaders are envisioning it at this point of time?
See, let me tell you that it's a silent secret on the big seats where the big faces are contesting that who is going to win from which seat. But of course, as far as the opposition faces are concerned on the same big seats, they can certainly not deny that they are not going to win. They have to come forward with the same confidence and say that yes, they are going to win. And certainly that's why they are campaigning in certain areas. And in fact, there comes the Congress party, where there's a fight between Congress where there's a fight between Aam Aadmi Party, BJP and Congress. So Aam Aadmi Party believes that it is the Congress party who is the B team of the BJP, and that is what their concern is, that Congress will help BJP in cutting off their votes. The voter of Aam Aadmi Party the voter of Congress party will be diverted to BJP, and that's how their votes will be divided. Or the voter that does not want neither BJP nor Aam Aadmi Party to come to power, they will vote for Congress party. But ultimately, the loss will be of Aam Aadmi Party, is what Aam Aadmi Party believes. Now let us talk, about the elections in the national capital. As far as the national capital elections and the issues are concerned, you see, we have seen elections in Maharashtra, we have seen elections recent time in Haryana, we have also seen elections in past times in West Bengal, in Kerala as well. So you see, in the states where these elections are held, we have never seen the issues like sanitation being addressed. We going in the gullies, in mohallas, in nukkards, and reporting on the issues like sanitation, showing open drainage, talking about the roads, talking about the scarcity of drinking water. But when it comes to national capital, we are all up with our camera and mic and speaking to the public, no matter what. They stay in slums, they stay in JJ cluster, they stay in anywhere in the posh area. If they have a drainage problem, if they have the scarcity of water, we will show that on camera, because the national capital, the issues over here are different. There is a war of narrative, there is a war of issues, there is a war on the work that's been done as far as the past 10 years are concerned, because you see, the national elections on the issues are very much volatile. If we talk about other states on a larger perspective, yes, elections are fought on the basis of agenda. But when we talk about national capital, what I believe is that agenda is on social media, but on ground is all what the work counts, the schemes that are being announced, and that is certainly being done to woo the voters. And what also I believe that Aam Aadmi Party is certainly taking inspiration from Maharashtra, what happened in Madhya Pradesh and what happened in Jharkhand as well. We have seen that some kind of yojnas being announced for the women voters, and women voters were certainly wooed, and the kind of women voters came out to vote in Maharashtra, Jharkhand, and then Madhya Pradesh. We have seen that all these yojnas played a very crucial role, and that's why Aam Aadmi Party also launched Mahila Samman Yojana and announced 2100 rupees for women. Then we saw Congress Party coming in and in fact launching a yojana for women again, for Pyari Behna Yojana. BJP is also making such kind of promises and saying that they will also launch such kind of yojana. So it seems like each and every party thinks that women voter is someone whom they can attract or distract by announcing such kind of yojanas or schemes. And it is inevitable that in the past elections we have seen such kind of yojanas attracting the women voters, especially from the rural areas. Urban voter is in fact a well-read. Urban voter is urban voter, what I believe, in fact, going on ground, believes that the free schemes and yojanas that are being announced by Aam Aadmi Party, or say it be any party, it in fact affects the economy of the national capital. And in fact, rather than announcing the schemes, they should empower the women, they should empower the youth, they should empower the generation or whosoever they are announcing the free schemes for, rather than giving them just the freebies. But as far as in fact the rural voters are concerned, they believe that what is wrong if 2100 rupees is coming to their account per month. So that is all what the announcement, narrative and the elections are all about. But yes, one thing is very clear, that here in the national capital, certainly the elections are going to be very, very interesting, because on one end we are seeing that Aam Aadmi Party is every day launching a new video, that is AI video. This is something new, the AI campaign. We have never seen in other elections as well, that where the elections are fought or an agenda or narrative is being set on the AI campaign. Aam Aadmi Party releases a video, then there we see another video coming in of the BJP. However, Congress Party doesn't seem like very much on the front foot as far as these all campaign war or information war is concerned. But yes, when it comes on ground, both the parties, BJP and Aam Aadmi Party, they are one-on-one on ground, countering issues, countering the statements, holding press conferences on the daily basis. Yesterday we saw Rahul Gandhi from the Congress leader entering into the Delhi Assembly elections. But yes, people also believe that, because we have also traveled in several constituencies, and people believe that according to the voters of the national capital, they believe that the fight is the neck-to-neck fight is in between Aam Aadmi Party and BJP, because you see, Congress has come very late as far as the campaigning is concerned. They the leaders were missing from the ground. They could not even announce the complete names of candidates also, is what the voters have to say. But everything will only be clear once the results are out, what the fortune of the candidates will be, who will be the chief minister face, will the narrative win, will the agenda win, or ultimately it is only the work on the ground that will be winning. Or again, I will say, the schemes, the promises will benefit Aam Aadmi Party that they have been announcing. Point is not that they have been announcing the schemes. Point is that how much the voters will be wooed, how much the voters will be convinced by these schemes that are being announced. Because there are two kind of voters in the national capital. One who believes that there should be a change, this economy will be affected if we on and on keep on announcing the schemes, because Delhi is short of funds. And there is another voter who just talks about himself that I'm getting benefited, I'm getting freebies, so why I should not take the benefit of it? Doesn't matter for me where the economy goes, doesn't matter for me where the funds goes, but what matters to me is just the money that will be coming into my account, the 2100 rupees, the free ilaj that I'll be getting, the mohalla clinic that I'll be getting, free electricity, free water, free bus services for the women. So these are all the issues that the voters will be keeping in mind. But yes,
all right,
again,
Tejashi, I think you have summed that up perfectly, Firaz, in terms of how the voter views it politically, what is happening, more importantly, those decisions which will affect what we will be looking at on February 8th when the counting is out. But for the moment, we leave it at that. Thank you, Nikhil, as well for joining us. Let's shift our focus now quickly to tell you how the Election Commission has taken several initiatives to increase voter turnout in the elections. One such initiative is allowing senior citizens aged about 85 or a person with disability to vote from home. Now, the last date for registering for the Delhi polls is 15th of January. There are over 1.1 lakh senior citizens and a little less than 80,000 people with disabilities. Till now, less than 3,000 have so far applied. Let me cut across to Harish Nair, my colleague, joining me with more on that. Harish, very good morning. Given the aspect that this is probably a move that was the need of the hour, what more can you tell us?
Yes, that's it. Big development as far as the Delhi election is concerned, and very significant step taken by the Election Commission to increase the voter turnout, as you rightly said. The one such initiative is allowing senior citizens above 85 or a person with disabilities to vote from home. But the last date of registering for that is tomorrow, 15 January. There are over 1.1 lakh senior citizens and little less than 80,000 people with disabilities as per the Election Commission records. But till now, less than 3,000 have so far applied for it by filling up the form. So the Election Commission is repeatedly appealing. Remember, it's an optional facility and people can even go to the polling station to exercise their franchise. However, once they fill up the form 12D, they will have to cast their votes only at home on dates to be announced by the election office. The facility was available during the Lok Sabha elections as well, but less than 5,000 people only avail the facilities. So this time, Election Commission is repeatedly appealing to the senior citizens aged above 85 and those persons with disabilities to vote from home and get registered. Remember, the last date for this, that is tomorrow, January 15. Back to you.
Right, Harish. Thank you very much for getting us more perspective as far as that step is concerned. But for now, we leave it at that. Let's shift our focus to our special Superfast News.